pleased to welcome you to the 2014 Los Angeles Film Festival presented by Film Independent and this fabulous screening of Comet, directed by Esmail. Before we get started, just a few quick thank yous and notes. First, we want to thank our presenting media sponsor, the Los Angeles Times. They've been working with us on the festival for a long time, and in a big city with a lot going on, it's hard to get the word out to everybody about what we're doing, and that's what they help us do. So thank you so much to the Los Angeles Times. I also want to thank the Regal Cinemas at LA. This is a perfect movie to see in a theater like this. It's gorgeous. The sound is beautiful, and I think you'll see how great the Regal is. So thank you to the Regal Cinemas at LA. Thank you to our volunteers. There's like an army of them. They're so nice. They're so wonderful, and they work for free. So let's pay them with applause.
Yeah.
I also want to thank our interns. They have also been working with us for free for a really long time, and when they go off and find real jobs that pay them, we will miss them sort of. This little doodad here, this is your ballot. The film is eligible for a jury award, which you can't vote for, but it's also eligible for an audience award, which you can vote for. And the way that it works is that you just watch the movie. I hope you watch the movie. You'll make a little tear at the end of the film over the number that you want to score the film, and then you'll give it back to one of the volunteers at the door. Last but not least, turn off your phones for me, please. I know it's LA, it's really hard to do that, but you'll enjoy it. It will be a rare experience. And then also I just want to let you all know that Sam will be here with his editor for a Q&A after the film, so please stick around and enjoy Comet. Sam Esmail and editor Peterson. Thank you. Hi. So, excuse me, this is how we'll do this. I'll let you guys collect your thoughts for a few minutes, and I'll start out with a question of my own, and we'll talk for a minute, and then we'll open it up, and we'll have a chat. How's that? Good? So, as I'm watching the movie again, the end of the movie for like, I don't know, probably the third time, I of course am remembering what first appealed to me about the film, and I remember watching it the first time and thinking, yeah, this is right. When you think about relationships of your past, you don't think about them in a linear way. You think about them in these fragmented, weird ways, and so I thought it was very fitting that you made the film in that way, and I'm curious to see how you came to that conclusion. You wanted to make a relationship movie, and you fragmented it, and then also Franklin and Beal talk about how you two worked together in the edit to find the right balance and where to piece things together.
Originally, when I wrote the script, it was linear, so it was basically 5 long scenes. It wasn't really a movie, it was like a boring play. And I kind of put it away, and then I went through a breakup, which always helps the writing process. And it was just like what you said. I started remembering the relationship in pieces and out of order, and then I was like, oh, it sucks that I'm going through a breakup, but I just figured out the script. So I went back and reordered the script, and we shot it really specifically in that way. Like we had to remember how we're going to transition from one scene to the next visually. Of course, then you get into the edit room and everything changes, and you can talk about that because we obviously didn't completely stick to the plan, and Franklin got creative, and we got creative. We actually had a board. It was like playing Tetris or something. I don't know if that's the right reference, but it was something like that. And here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very well structured. I mean, the dialogue is so sharp and everything is so artfully done, and then we get in the editing room and I have to sort of coax Sam into understanding that, yes, this would be a perfect way to transition if we were moving at the right speed, but this pace is a little slow, let's speed it up here, let's move this close to there, people are liking one section of the movie more than others, let's think about ways to highlight that, and all throughout the process, the most creative, interesting stuff you see on the screen from an editorial standpoint coming out of the brain of this man. So as much as I wish he could take credit for a lot of it, it's much more his baby all throughout. So but it was a great process as far as getting to see a script that was already in that position and then allowing us to kind of explore some more. And again, certain elements here where we really play around with the intercutting very much in the editing room. We really explored that and had these great sequences that we got to create. Some didn't work, some were amazing and worked great. And again, I was one of the bigger naysayers, and Sam won me over every time. So.
Are you guys ready yet? Go ahead right there.
Yeah, music in indies is usually just so incidental. The score in this film is just overwhelmingly stunning, and I felt it's such an integral part of the story. Could you please talk about the music?
Yeah, I watch a lot of movies. I'm not gonna diss on mumblecore because I like some mumblecore movies, but I feel like when you make a movie, or when I want to see a movie, I want to see everything, and I want it to be operatic, and I want it to be big, and the new music was going to be a big part of that. And when we were doing the rough cut, we had like a fuckload of temp music that was really expensive, and M83, and just the best. And Franklin's like really, he has great taste in music, thank God. Because when you work with an editor with bad taste in music, it can go really bad. But a lot of the temp music, last year there was this movie called Ain't Them Body Saints that came out, which is a really good movie I've heard. I've never actually seen it, but I've listened to the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is amazing, and we used maybe three cues out of it. And we had all these composers that were submitting stuff. And, I was, whatever, kind of liked it, kind of did. But I was like, why don't we, this guy that we've used 3 times, why don't we just send the movie to him and ask him, Daniel Hart is his name, if I didn't say that already. And he luckily enough, he loved the movie and wanted to do it for like $5, because we only had $5 to pay. And he's brilliant. I mean, he's brilliant. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Go ahead right there.
Yeah, I was really interested in the way the cinematography was set. I noticed mostly all of the movie was set in like rule of third. So I was wondering how that, because I feel like even though it seemed interesting to me, I feel like there's this part, like an aspect to the story that I was trying to get. Like, could you talk about it, maybe like, what was it that you're trying to show through that, or maybe try to...
So the question was about the cinematography. I guess specifically about framing. This was a big controversial issue during the shoot because it was obviously not very normal. I always loved off-kilter framing. There was something surreal that I saw about it. I don't really understand the rule of thirds note, but basically we off-centered everything. There was sometimes too much headroom. There was sometimes no headroom. Everything was just a little off because I felt like the world of the movie was a little off. And I don't know, I actually it's been in a lot of British, like Tom Hooper does it a lot, and then there's like, I don't know if you've seen British television, like Luther or Broadchurch. They're doing a lot in kind of British cinematography, and I just responded to it and really resonated with me. And I, decided to basically rip that off. And that's how we came to that. I mean, it really just fit with the tone of the movie, Yeah.
How long was the filming process?
Not long enough, I would say. It was 18 days. It was 18 days. Yeah.
Am I missing people up there? I feel bad. I'm ditching. There you go. Go ahead.
Hey, great film. Congratulations. Very moving. Just 2 aesthetic questions. One, with the transitions between the scenes, why did you guys choose video distortions, like old video? And then also, what was the significance of the 2 suns? Was that just because it's a parallel universe, or do you guys like Star Wars?
I do love the original.
Is there any other? I don't know.
Okay, your first question was about the VHS transitions. So for me growing up, our home movies were VHS tapes,
right.
And if you watch those VHS tapes over and over, they scratch and they distort and they do the things that we try to put in the movie. And for me, that's what I associate memories with. I mean, I think 20 years ago, if you watched films and they did flashbacks of memories, it was the Polaroid look or the 8mm look. But for me, it was about the VHS look, and that's sort of how we decided to use that as a sort of tie into memories. And the two suns, it was sort of representative of them, but yeah, it was kind of like this, I just wanted to let you know that you weren't in our universe, you know.
Awesome.
Beautiful shot, too. Go ahead, right there. Yeah.
I was going to ask, the Roxette scene in the car, was that originally part of the script, the back and forth on that, or did you wake up and realize you had an opera singer on your set?
No, I always knew I had an opera singer on my set. No, that was in the script. That was in the it was scripted like that. Yeah.
Because it was rather enjoyable.
She sings a lot better than that, just FYI.
Go ahead, right there.
Where was the last scene shot?
Where was it shot?
Oh, it was at the Scientology Center, Lena.
Nice.
Couple more. Go ahead, right there.
I'm going to try and put this into words, but the last scene, I remember very in the beginning of the movie, whenever he told her that the lie had to come when he was most vulnerable. Whenever she said she was pregnant, was she actually pregnant or was she lying when he was most vulnerable?
Well, I guess in one parallel universe, she was, another one she is.
That's called evasion. One more. Let's make it a good one. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's good.
Huh.
Does color signify anything in this film to you? Because I could be crazy, but I noticed a lot of white, especially in the hotel room and at our house. So white seemed to have a big impact.
Well, color is important. Well, white, especially in the apartment, was just to evoke cold. But if you notice, there's a lot of blue and pink going on, which is basically the primary colors of boy and girl. Just basically, that's what the movie's about, boy meets girl.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And please let the world know that you saw Comet.